no surprise to pair up with the Ezreal. And I think particularly when you have an Ivan, you really want that engaged support. You know, especially it works really well with Leona because when the Q hits, you get the gap closer for free to follow up with your stun. So yeah, I think BNK FEARX, a lot of team fighting tools. You can think of how the Wombo combo is going to come together. A lot of hold them still and you fire. But DPLUS's mid-game spike is kind of absurd. And especially Ivan gets so much utility from his items around that point. I feel like if DPLUS set the pace of this game, they're just going to kind of dominate. And they're in a scenario where like top solo lanes are going to have a good amount of pressure.
Number one. Well, I know we are on the DPLUS side of LoL Park, but I feel like that was a much larger fan chant from them, regardless. Even though we are generally a little bit closer. Fans certainly out in force for DK here today.
Things do sound loud.
So many times. I remember I watched it back and I just, it was really hard. Because, okay, Beryl's going to go in, save us from this conversation for the moment. Aftershock has worn off, but you can see Diablo taking a lot of damage. The wraparound from the other tree, though, coming in, and Beryl is overextended. He has to flash. There's a flash forward from Kellen, though. Twisted advance, and down goes the Leona. First blood for B&K.
This is what I love about lane swaps being good. And you get those honest, true 2v2.
Yes. You were talking about barbecuing the Gwen. That is continuing to happen here as a tree battle is going to ensue, but Kellen makes it unfair. The crash down, but it's after the flash from Lucid, who goes into the brush. Is still an advantage. Wow, that Valkyrie forward, and there's Snowmaker picking up the follow-up kill. I kind of thought they were going to be okay. It was a great Ezreal mid.
Absolutely, and just great flash from Lucid there. If you eat that flash, the CC chain's coming in, and then Kellen, the dismounted walk of shame away.
Yeah, so slow. Yeah, wow, they were very nonchalant. Even the first item spike of Leandri's Torment for the Rumble is fantastic. So it's almost like a one-item spike composition here on the side of DK. Getting into like two-item spike territory is kind of the big deal, but even just hitting a Trinity Force is really, really strong. DK in the early stages, once these items come through, are going to be very strong. Is now clear, does put down the circle. He's immune a bit, but not quite immune enough, as he's going to have to back away. All right, Kellen and Diablo coming on down towards his bottom side. Bullet time softens up Shu somewhat, but he does have a scrap shield, so he's all right. Oh dear. Daisy getting the knock up. There's another Zenith Blade in, and aiming collects the kill. Exhaust not quite enough there. Clear going for that Summoner Spell combination as we've...
With the fact that BNK FEARX already have one dragon, I think DPLUS definitely want to contest this. Leandri's just came in for Shiwu, running from base. Lucid has the redemption as well, the active being a great tool in this, so I'm actually a little concerned for BNK FEARX for this one. If you look at their carries, the Yone and the MF, they're just sitting on components. I think this is a bad fight to take.
Yeah, these are big item spikes. And, okay, Magnustorm still brings Kellen in, but there's the equalizer. They do not want to engage on top of that one, but already the Rel has gone down. Vikla gone pretty ballistic, but he does have to go back to that unbound Salty Arbol. Going nuts. Beryl gets the shield, and he interrupts the ultimate. Still goes down. It's a crazy fight, but it is 4 for 2 in favor of DK.
And I think the item advantage really came in clutch there. You know, the redemption heal that came through helped mitigate that initial engage, and then Showmaker and aiming both kind of just free hitting on the back end of that fight.
Well, Vikla, missed that Q. That might have been enough to kill him, actually, or might have just been very, very close. For the worst times to fight, the next worst time is when you have double Muir Mana and a Moonstone, and champion, though, on this team.
I think, honestly, later in the game, when Vikla and Claire have, like, 3-4 items, I think that's really where I'm thinking this team was a power point. Also, with Diablo and the MF, you could honestly build, like, Executioners and Serpent's Fang, and just the AoE.
Where the Rel was this whole time, playing around it beautifully, and B&K realizing that they're overstaying their welcome. Beryl still wants to fight, so he walks into 3 people, just presses the blast cone. That's going to get him out of there. Diablo moves in, and an immediate bullet time is weird, but I liked the gusto from the young man.
They're still trying to fight this.
Yeah, Lucid has the smite. Raptor can move in as well. It's a tree smite battle as the Solar Flare is going to stun him up. In goes Beryl once again. Vikla uses the ult to get himself out. The Herald goes over to the Ivern, and down goes the Maokai. The tree battle we can see has been won by the one with the skinnier legs. And Diablo just knew there was no way in. That is a lot of value, and DK just going to utilize Shelly immediately.
I think BNK FEARX, they try to set up, they try to find an angle, it didn't show itself, and I think you just have to make the call to back away. They hung around for too long, Jungler goes down, Herald goes down too, and now they're losing even more than they would have if they've just said, look, we can't contest this.
Cloud Soul so far today.
It's good omen for Cloud Soul fans.
Oh dear,
So
yeah. All right.
Now, I don't think you're going to find a way in here. It's already up here after pushing in the bot wave, so it looks like their intent is to get control of this topside river.
Yeah. All right, Raptor throws down the Nature's Grasp, but Beryl, he had the Zenith Blade in the air, and now Raptor is split off from the rest of his team. Solar Flare needs to be flashed as Raptor gets himself out of the way. Kellen finding the Magna Storm onto 3. Vikla dives in as well, but he melts instantly. Kellen gonna follow suit as Clear is not immune even a little bit. Double kill for aiming, and now they'll take the Otacon after taking 3 off the map from BNK.
There you go. You see BNK FEARX try and make the counter engage, but the skill shots don't connect. And if you're slightly off against this composition, you're gonna have a bad time. Lucid coming in with Redemption, able to keep everyone healthy. And now this mid-tier 1, a very poor compensation. They get a bit of sort of prior control over the jungle. They move down. Maokai ult comes out to try to deny this wave pressure. Doesn't really do that much though.
Oh, Solar Flare going to be avoided there by Vikla, but cannot unbind his soul now for the next little while. Daisy going in, going aggressive. Kellen taking a bunch of poke damage as well. DK, I think, are just going to be able to push this one down. They've got a few minions left remaining, so Inner Turret providing even more money for this team. It's a bunch of work, like a mantle? Is a mantle apparently a wrap?
I think it's getting to the point where it's just too confusing.
I don't know. Thankfully, Beryl is engaged, so maybe we'll focus on that one. Root Call landing here from Lucid as well, and you can see they're taking no damage. Solar Flare not doing too much as Diablo not allowed to have a good time. True Shot Barrage is also going to hit Vikla, but just obliterates the Misfortune, and now the rest of BNK are just falling like a house of cards. Double kill now for Shiu as Lucid trying to look for a flash angle, doesn't quite get it as aiming is angry. Vikla trying to escape, but remember, he has to go back, and so he's just dead. Aiming able to line up the Q nicely on that one. Kellen, yeah, his former teammates just going to take him down. And now, inhibitor turret number 1 going to fall. It's an ace for DK, as they have just, it feels like, had control for this entire game. They're taking an inhibitor turret. That's what I was trying to work out.
Why do we use this name so frequently? We're only with in front.
Yeah. Certain things that we will never know, and it's the mystery that makes it, you know? That's what we like. And if we found out, then maybe the magic would be gone, as this inhibitor is also gone.
Yeah, that is a deep flank.
Yeah.
This is a surmountable flank.
Well, let's see whether Kellen can find the angle. Vikla doesn't find the ultimate, and aiming gets right out of there. Back into position to do damage. Raptor wants to defect. He's gone to the enemy base. And Diablo is alone once again.
Yeah, I'm just not convinced that DPLUS actually took damage there.
Yeah, well, Clear did. He was not immune.
Yeah. Did have his exhaust. Didn't use it. Don't think it would have mattered. And now DPLUS will look to put them out of their misery in this game.
They have ponchoed on over towards these Nexus turrets. They're going to dive the fountain as well, and Beryl is going to be able to do so comfortably. The tree is back somewhere in Narnia, but the Nexus is dead, and DK start off the LCK season with a bang.
I mean, it's a bit of the DPLUS we love, you know, the Ivan pick, a little bit less common to see that one. This is a bulky team composition from DPLUS. You know, I feel like the RE's gonna kind of struggle. You need to get really access on these key targets, and with the Unraveled Earth and like the bubble screen,
it is.
Yeah,
Beryl's playing the Cho'GATH.
I think this makes more sense. You know, I feel like with Carrier Guma, it's like, oh, Carrier's playing the AD carry support. Like, you know, come on. But I think this makes sense. I will say though, aiming, your chances of getting Gold King not looking good if you're playing Senna here.
And thank goodness he got his Ezreal damage as we jump out of the Rift for Game 2. Oh my god, it's the best skin as well. Gentleman CHO'GATH is one of my favorites.
It's peak.
Oh god, up you go. Oh, it's just the best.
All right, I have a question I have to ask you.
What's that?
Okay, we know DPLUS like to get very hype.
That happened more recently, but that was technically bot CHO'GATH.
Yeah.
Because right now, Aiming and Beryl have kind of role swapped. But we're having a look at a little bit of a battle towards the top side here. As, oh dear. Okay, we've got a slight zoom in as well. Oh, the threaded volley angle just gorgeous as Vikla one more auto, and there's a flash for it. Solo kill for Showmaker, and Vikla's woes continue here. Shu is relatively low though, does have Meganar coming up. There's the hop skip. And the flash out from Clear after he uses his trinket as well.
That was nearly perfect timing though. Shiwu hitting level 6 and about to hit Mega skill that comes down the matchup, but it just feels like if you're losing this much early, you're never gonna have a good time.
Oh dear. Beryl is going to be discovered as the flash forward from Kellen lands the handshake as well. Beryl is very dead. Diablo able to lock that one down in the end. And sometimes you just overextend. By last season, of course, I mean the LCK Cup. Shu now finds himself with a whole lot of bad guys around. Lucid will be able to take the crab as it's an Infernal Drake coming up in a minute and a half.
Yeah, BNK FEARX already have a dragon in pocket.
Oh dear, Shu. Oh, has that Meganar position. Look at the wall, it is gorgeous. Wallop immediately going to get cleansed though as Diablo dancing around this one. That is the ultimate, not connecting. So Renata that goes down first. Shu had a lot of sticks in him at Diablo, not quite enough. As Vikla gets immediately stunned, then impaled. Cannot clean up the kill under Shu. Does manage to help take down Aiming as Lucid just crashes Raptor into the wall. Shu still offering as much damage as he can, but these health bars are so low. Diablo dancing around this fight and manages to take out all of them.
Diablo comes in clutch, manages to find the kill. So many low health bars. It looks like DPLUS was getting away with
that teleport, so does Clear. So the top laners, or the bot lane and top laner.
The people inhabiting currently the top lane.
Yes, indeed. DK, 4-man strong in the banana brush. That's a lot of control of that area as they do manage to lock it down. BNK can now just vacate. And so nothing really happening there. 1,000 gold lead for BNK.
I think because Beryl spent so much time solo laning, she was 2 levels down on Clear. This is really not a good spot for your top lane to be in.
Yeah, not great. Handshake there from Lucid to get him out of any sort of engage opportunity. Showmaker comes in, the impale not quite working out as the Fate's Call is going to get this Renata out. Kellen immediately looks for the knock-up and gets it. BNK, this is not the team we saw in Game 1. As another handshake, Kellen is just too good at this champion. And DK, you're the ones that were on the team with him when he was this good at Renata.
You knew he was good at Renata, you know? I feel like it was a lot of disrespect to give her over the Callista and then do nothing to mitigate this.
How long are we going to wait? Is it going to be Vikla taking an inhibitor turret before we've pulled the trigger? The answer's no, as Diablo smashed into the wall immediately and presented for his team, but where's the damage? They do eventually find it, but the bailout is going to be there. Showmaker gets over the wall after he's weaved his way in, and Beryl just really wants to eat. He is going to be able to find Kellen there with that one, but you can see it's Clear with the damage, Vikla with the damage, and DK just don't quite have it. Another charm is going to connect onto Lucid, who then has to flash away. The wallop does nothing. And DK, I think that was the best it could have gone, and they still lost.
Even with him dispatching the Callista right at the start of the fight, still end up just not being able to have the follow-through in the fight. You know, I thought Diablo uses Flash. The fact he hasn't, the fact his cleanse is back up, and everyone has summoners apart from Kellen.
Here, as Otacon is going to spawn. And Beryl may be dead. Handshake comes through. They're going to focus on the turret first. Good knock up there as he dash cannons his way back. And Diablo still just dancing after the and then finds the pierce. Gorgeously played from the young 80 carry for BNK. And this guy, he really wants this to be a 3-game series. He's looking brilliant. This is what was promised from this young player.
I don't want to point your fingers, but it feels like someone's been...
You can point your own fingers.
Someone's been cooking the books a little bit. Someone's been... there's some missing funds allocated somewhere.
The Gold King has been robbed. Let's just say that. And there was a lot in there to be robbed, as Lucid going to get pushed back into BNK, and he's being thrown around like a ragdoll. Picks up an Ari on his way through there. has flash, but I don't think he really has much of an opportunity to use it. And there's some bounty gold going over to DK. I think it's a check-out game number 3 to see whether we can win that one instead type angle for DK, because this one's feeling done and dusted.
Absolutely. Lucid's just trying to walk up to see if he can get a look in and can't even get close. A minute till that Hextech Soul seems very unlikely going to be able to contest that. And with the Ruinous buff as well, that's just a game ender. She was trying to push in the side lane.
Yeah. He is killing minions.
Oh, might go for the Grom.
Hey, there's also a blue buff here.
Doesn't
massive advantage.
I think if they secure the blue buff, I'd feel a lot more optimistic about the state of the game.
I don't think it'll change. Well, DK now grouped up. See whether they can find themselves a team fight.
They got a blue buff.
Hey, there we go. Another flick. That's going to bring Raptor back. This is exactly where DK needs to be, as Vikla flashes for a charm that goes wide. That was something. And now Raptor looking for a bit of an angle as a hostile takeover as Lucid getting softened up completely. Diablo is so incredibly safe. As Beryl going down low himself, the flash counter-strike comes in, but Clear taking a lot of damage. Dawning Shadow to try and keep them all alive. And Beryl is limping around in this battle. Shiu getting softened up as well, as Honeyfruit is all they can really hope for. Showmaker realizing he's the only source of damage. The sidesteps are looking good, but Diablo gets in range and down goes the Talia. Not a lot of opportunity, and now he's just dashing towards Shiu. The leap strike not going to quite do it as Beryl.
He just TP.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that one. It's a very weird state of affairs.
He did just TP in there, right?
I wasn't watching. But now he's
was he
dead.
trying to TP out?
Yeah, she was also...
I'm so confused.
Okay, yeah, he was standing on a ward. Lucid is going to try and drive away, but it does not work. Raptor able to kill him, and there is a Hextech.
He actually did. He just recalled.
He recalled and then immediately teleported back to the same spot, but the rest of his team had been...
He's not even full health.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I thought happened.
He did just do that. And now the Baron is on BNK.
Well, Aiming nearly has 60 stacks, so...
Hey!
You know, at this rate, I think he'll take over the game once we get to, like...
An hour and a half.
Maybe 2.
All right.
Maybe 2 hours.
Well, they just have to stay in the game for 2 hours.
Yeah. That's...
The other option is quickly lose and then use 26 minutes in order to win with a better draft. As the charm comes in, Beryl dies unceremoniously as Diablo is just dancing around everyone. She tries to dive in, but immediately gets CC'd. That is a triple kill. Diablo's looking for more. That's the Quadra. And the young prodigy from B&K standing up saying, "You put some respect on my name, DK." That Callista performance for 26.5 minutes of B&K. They clap back.
Some big takeaways from this one. Diablo has some good hands. Kellen, surprisingly good on Renata.
Yeah.
Apparently that's new information.
Wow.
And DPLUS, stick to champions you can play.
Yeah.
Generally, and I'm looking specifically at the bot lane because they looked a little bit lost. You know, I remember playing that matchup after the change, and it freaked me out. I was like, where'd it go?
Yeah.
It just vanished. This cask of ale just disappeared. Gragas was distressed, obviously.
Basically, Braum learned how to drink way faster.
Yeah, very efficient.
He just slurps it.
Siphoned a bit off to the Poros, which was a whole incident. But yeah, I mean, I think ultimately the mid-jungle of DPLUS is terrifying. But I think the bot lane matchup is good for B&K FEARX. I think Clear on Cassante is fine. I think it's a strong 5v5 for B&K FEARX. It's just really... This Teferi is dangerous to deal with.
DK can do it. Find the upset against DK. All right, here we are, ladies and gentlemen. On to the Rift. 3 Poros for Braum and 3 Doggos for Lucid. That's pretty cool. Is it 3? Right now it's looking like... Yeah, it is. Is it 2? Or is it just include? Yeah, you include. I'm including Fury so that we can have the same amount of events. I think playing a bit better, even though you can see in the farm it is still Showmaker having a good time. Kellen's going to turn up and gank his former mid laner. No flash available because of course he used it earlier, and there is the Sand Soldier. There is first blood going over to Vikla.
Great moves there by Kellen, finding an opportunity to roam from.
Okay.
Kellen? if B&K win this, is the player of the match?
I still think Diablo is in strong contention for the cluster game. Going wild arrows is the only thing that makes sense for the first item.
Yeah. All right. Gonna land the Void Seeker here as Beryl, body slam, tanking up the turret now. But this is a Cassante, remember? It can get a little bit awkward. He goes all out, but then the body slam's there, and Beryl says, I'm gonna take this kill, Gold King. Not too worried about it. And B&K, they are investing everything into making sure that this is locked down. Demolish is there, though. It's going to be a lot of damage. Is now aiming maybe a little bit too far up. Does have flash, now doesn't have flash.
Yep, good moves there by Kellen, capitalizing on the slow from the Ash. And well, still to keep the pressure here, get a plate as well.
Yeah.
Now Raptor looking for it. This is risky against the Gragas.
Clearing out that ward. The Gragas being there, like you say, is going to help out. One dragon apiece, though. One set of grubs apiece as well.
I think Beryl's on the tower if they try and dive.
Okay. Does manage to cask in a weird time, and so Kellen doesn't get... So could actually be this first turret feat of strength to go over to DK. And yeah, they're going to tank this one up, wait for the minions to come on over, and that is first turret. Please start being afraid.
I'm kind of worried for him.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. Well, does mean B&K FEARX are able to move over towards the dragon and have control of that area. Herald's going to come down. Not sure who's going to grab it. Beryl probably shouldn't, as he has been drinking.
Yes, certainly shouldn't. They're just going to leave it, though, see whether it can get itself a charge. That is going to buy DK some time.
One of those
to move into the river.
Autonomous cars. Oh.
Okay, Raptor diving on in there. Bomber comes down this time, gets Raptor out, but Nefiri is just dead in an instant. Shiyu able to umbrally dash over that wall and clears all out, doesn't do too much. Shiyu wants back, though. And so DK, even though they lost one and it's their jungler, they still want to try and fight for this. The volley value actually kind of massive as well as Shiyu gets himself out of there once again. Okay, B&K. It's like Caitlyn got nerfed, but maybe I can just still do the build. I'll just do a different champion.
K-Lysa.
Yeah, Kleisland. Don't know about that one. Okay, Clear coming on over to seeing whether he can grab this turret. Don't think he's going to be able to right now as Shiyu looking for an engage opportunity. Ulti comes down from Showmaker and Clear, tanking things up, does manage to ult Beryl in order to get himself out of there. And Shiyu's zoning as best he can. A fight on two fronts here is Clear. Still the target as they do manage to take him down. Killer Instinct, a whole bunch of things invested into this fight, but an Emperor's Divide does absolutely nothing because Lucid goes untargetable. Gorgeously played from... Hasn't been started just yet, but it looks like B&K does have positional advantage and vision control.
It is a pretty voracious game.
Indeed. Well, aiming. No Infinity Edge just yet, so I think he's sitting on a whole bunch of money. Hasn't actually backed since that last fight. As Lucid wanted to clear this one out, might be able to do so, but Raptor dives in. Cease and Desist is available, so he's going to be able to lock him down for so long. Lucid going untargetable, gets himself a shield as well with his Eclipse, and Vikla, he comes on over, going to utilize his Sand Soldiers to take down the Nefiri. And a teleport in from Shiyu is odd. They're still looking for the angle as Shiyu finds a double knock-up with the Q. Diablo in so much trouble. Barrier nowhere near enough, but Beryl is dead as well. Shiyu with the World Ender. I just don't know whether it's going to be enough because there's 4 members of B&K in the area. They have to try and get themselves out. Showmaker, a fair bit of damage. The all-out actually gets Shiyu out. And look, I'm not sure about this one. DK or B&K. Showmaker get out. He is going to be able to get out of there. Burning, but not quite enough. And somehow...
Roll and Aatrox ult. There's just no chance of contesting from this point forward. So B&K FEARX holds strong and managed to secure third dragon off the game. You're quite a bit hybrid if you have like the Ginsu's build. So
do you know what's interesting? Looking it up, the build actually does have the highest win rate in solo queue.
But what is the sample size?
2%.
Yeah. I think it's part of it. If you like finish a crit build, it feels pretty good.
Yeah.
But
I think you have to get to Phantom Dancer as your third item.
Yeah.
For it to feel good. But DK are now positioned around this Artican. Vikla is taking an inner turret. But so is Shiyu, I'm pretty sure. Raptor. Oh, he's raptoring around.
Oh, he is.
As aiming will find the Void Seeker. There's the Vi. And now, DK wondering what they're supposed to do. Beryl has the attention of the Otacon.
He's trying to flip it.
Yep, getting impatient, as we can see here. The teleport's come in.
Okay, he let it reset, but...
Okay, cease and desist. Going to connect onto Showmaker. He tries to avoid a bunch of the damage, but it does not work. And Clear is going to completely miss time. His W there, Shiu, able to get himself out. But now, it is BK's turn to start off this Otacon. And now Lucid, let's see what he can actually land here as Beryl buying time. Kellen spotting him, knows that he's the one that needs to be there to avoid the cask. Clear taking some damage. Raptor not finding the Q flash at all onto aiming. And Vikla looking for an angle. There's the Winter's Bite, and aiming. He tries to Killer Instinct his way over, but it doesn't really do too much. Diablo left to the Wolves, but the Wolves are not angry enough. The flash is awkward, and Shiu's just gonna die. It's a cavalcade of disaster for DK. It's only Lucid left alive, and there goes the Otacon. Lucid still thinking about trying to be a hero here as Clear doesn't make it over the wall. Can we get the steal? And takes it away. He will die for it, or at least get sent back home.
FEARX won that because they had Brawn passive and auto attackers. It's that easy.
8 health. And then Lucid manages to get it.
This is a Zeri build.
Yeah. Okay, well, we've still got some Otacon buffs. The Baron has been started for some reason, and now Showmaker finding a beautiful combo. Kellen with the door, and Beryl gets around it. Still, Diablo's the target, and he's going to be taken down, and it's a double kill for aiming. Diving forward once again, Lucid does make Vikla go golden and is able to go untargetable as well. This doggo popping off, but Clear will be able to manage to find the kill. It's Shiu, though, that gets the last laugh, and Showmaker even able to secure that kill. So DK finally getting a good team fight.
Scrappy, scrappy, but ultimately Showmaker finds a great angle with the ult, and the cleanup comes in on the enemy bot lane.
DK continuing. As remember, this turret in the mid lane is very low. Lucid tried to pick up the whole wave, but there are still minions that do make it over. So you're going to have to go through that base gate to try and defend, but this inhibitor turret is just dead. Just a little bit of mismanagement when it comes to the lanes. Yeah, now Vikla will be able to take this inhibitor. Like, that is just, it's just done.
He is the strongest person on the Rift right now. He is very close to his 4th item power spike, but he is a big problem. And it kind of feels like BNK FEARX, the solution to beating them is kill everyone else and then deal with Vikla, as he has that Zhonya's as well, but he is...
Ooh, door actually on cooldown for a moment. Yeah. Beryl thinking about an angle. You can see he wants it. There's the body slam flash, as Vikla is going to get the fat man out of there, as Arrow going to connect onto Shiu, but Kellen misses his ult completely. BNK getting aggressive, not really finding the buttons. Still, Shiu going to have to go back, does have teleport in order to get himself back into this fight with full health.
You know, I feel like Beryl did most of the combo, but he just kind of, there was something missing, maybe like an ultimate ability. So maybe hesitated and like, do I want to knock this as it into my team? Maybe not.
Yeah, perhaps not. Finds the cask now, though, as aiming gets hit by that cease and desist. Lucid dives towards Raptor as well, but you can see the Kai'Sa already eliminated. His bottom lane duo also taking down the flash forward from Shiu, but unable to take down Diablo. In goes Lucid, though. They get rid of the Ashe, and Shiu is just staying alive. My God! His health bar just went back to full from 0.
This Aatrox is monstrous right now in this game, and as it gets clumped up together, 600, 345.
Look at this, he's
300, just 300.
My God.
Yep, just how many autos would Diablo have to put into him to mitigate just the heals he's getting? It's absurd.
Well, Beryl looking for a flank angle, finds the cask onto Vikla.
Just trying to get him drunk.
Yeah. And it maybe worked, because Vikla is now diving in on top of Beryl. It is going to be the Dragon secured by the Neferi, but they take down Beryl immediately. Clear gets himself out of there, dives on top of aiming, but aiming wins that one. Shiu in the fight once again, stays alive. And yeah, I think DK may have hit critical mass. Triple kill here. It's a full house. Aiming's full of Showmakers, and they should be able to just push up, take down a whole bunch of this base.
Yeah, super minions in their base, but I don't think they're too bothered about those right now. So much focus put onto this Aatrox, and it just meant the rest of the team were able to run rampant.
A 5,200 gold lead for just the Aatrox, when this game was even about 10 minutes ago.
Yeah.
This should just be the end of it, though, as DK, I mean, they had to work for it. This was not the series I was expecting. I kind of thought this was going to be a blowout. DK so much stronger in the LCK Cup. At least BNK They made the number 2, they slaughtered them, and this game was close until it wasn't. DK closed it out in the end, but it was grueling.
Absolutely was. And now, I have a difficult task ahead of me.
Yeah, where... Is it just Shiu? Just... What happened in game 1 again?
He played Rumble.
Oh, yeah.
He was fine. I think...
It was Showmaker until it was that Aatrox. I think I'm probably just going to Shiu it.
I think I'm going...
I don't have a vote, but I would vote for